Good morning, Muscatine. My name is Autumn Schultz, and before I get started, I have to say thank you to our sponsors, Hy-Vee, Unity Point Health, and Trinity Muscatine, Muscatine Power and Water, Becky Insurance, Toyota of Muscatine, Rival Plumbing and Heating, Impact Fitness and Nutrition, Lutheran Living Senior Campus, Impact Life Blood Center, Harper Cycling and Fitness, Muscatine County Fair, and Bayer of Muscatine, and Walk to End Alzheimer's of Muscatine. I have been repeating these so much this week. There's so many fun events happening this weekend, but tonight is our final home game for the Muskies. So kickoff is at 7:15, and be sure to wear your purple and gold, and it is going to be cold, so bundle up as well. But be sure to go there for the Muskie game day at 7:15. And then there are so many events happening this Saturday, and we're going to be talking about one of them here today. But the Friday and Saturday at 6 p.m. and Sunday at 4 is the Church Basement Ladies at the New Era Community Building. There will be dinner served with each of the shows at 6 o'clock for Friday, Saturday, 4 o'clock for Sunday. It is $30 for adults and $20 for children through the age of 12. There's also a free event starting at 1 p.m. on Saturday. We had Megan Francis give us the update about the Rockin' on 2nd Street for the carnival that is presented and hosted by Crossroads Incorporated. So this is going to be from 1 to 5:30. There's going to be carnival games, bounce houses, a dunk tank. There's also going to be pie in the face opportunity, and I will release who the pie in the face is later this afternoon. And we're going to make sure that it is a fun, free event for families. And then they're also going to have the Winterland performance going from 2:30 to 6:30 p.m. So be sure to bring a chair, bring your family, and have some fun with Crossroads for their Carnival and Rockin' on 2nd Street event. And then also joining our Muskie Marching Band, they are going to be performing on Saturday starting at 5:30. They have almost 19 different bands coming for this invitational. And then this is going to be at the Muscatine Community Stadium. Our Muskies perform at 10:10 p.m. And then also the cost is $10 with the program for adults. And then students K through 12 is $5. If you're 65 or older, it is $5. And anyone 5 and under are free. So be sure to go out and see all the different bands that are coming out for the Muskie Invitational and to see our Muskies perform at 10:10 p.m. Again, it's going to be cold, so bundle up. And so fun facts today is National Frappe Day, so be sure to stop by Starbucks and get a Frappuccino. And also it is National Smile Day. And this is probably my favorite little centerpiece. It's making me sad that no one's actually bought this one yet. So it's National Smile Day, so if someone needs a smile, grab this one here at the Hy-Vee Floral Shop today. Another event that is happening, and we have an amazing group here that are going to talk about it all for Saturday evening. I have Brian and the ladies for the Atlys Quartet.
Good morning. Good morning.
Hello. So just real quick, let's go down the line, introduce yourselves, and tell us what you do.
Sure. My name is Brian Dollinger, and I'm the music director and conductor for the Muscatine Symphony Orchestra.
My name is Sabrina, and I am a violinist with Atlys.
My name is Jinty, and I am also a violinist with Atlys String Quartet.
My name is Rita, and I play the viola with the Atlys String Quartet.
And my name is Genevieve, and I play the cello in Atlys.
So you have to carry the most, is what you're saying.
Yes, I do. I do. But actually, the cello is not that heavy, so it's more bulky than anything. But yeah, it's pretty big. You guys will see it later.
Perfect. And before we get started about the symphony happening this evening, can you just tell us a little bit about the Muscatine Symphony Orchestra?
The Muscatine Symphony Orchestra, this is actually going to be my 19th season with the orchestra, which I find just truly amazing. Conductors usually don't have that long of a shelf life with orchestras, let alone this long. I've been very fortunate to have this wonderful position with these musicians. We've come from basically an all-volunteer group many years ago, 2 concerts a year to a full subscriptions. We've done 9 musicals. We've done collaborations with dance. We've done collaborations with choirs. We've done collaborations with many world artists. I even have done 2 performances with a mime. And if you know anything about mimes, they don't say anything. And so that even entailed me not only conducting a full performance, but I had to learn 15 pages of script and acting. And those who had gone to that performance would really remember that, and it was pretty amazing.
So even when he's not in character, he's still in character?
this particular guy was.
This is a full-time character.
Yeah, Dan came and was fantastic, and he was almost in character almost the whole time, and a lifelong expert of Charlie Chaplin and all that. So
wow.
Really exciting. My goal with the symphony has always been to present symphonic music, not classical music, because classical music actually pigeonholes us. If you turn on the TV, to turn on the radio, watch any movie, there's classical music. And so when people say, oh, I don't like symphony music, I can really put the kibosh on that pretty quickly, because you like TV, don't you? Yes. Well, I like the, well, what music is that? That's a symphony orchestra. We do those. And so I do, I mean, within a classical concert, we may do a Beethoven symphony, but then I may throw in, because of the theme, something from a movie, something from TV, something from Broadway, whatever it is that fits. And what that does is then there's something on every concert that everyone will know. Whether it's Joe the Uber driver or John the garbage truck guy, whoever it is, they can come and feel comfortable knowing I'm going to know something. And so we're very eclectic that way. And this weekend we'll talk about the ladies with Atlys. They have a very amazing background and styles of music that they perform. And again, that's what I like to bring with the symphony, so that everyone can be a part of it. And now we're up to, talking about the history real quickly, now we're up to 5 Masterworks concerts a year, a subscription series. We give 2 free performances, one at Christmas, and which is normally, we ask for donations to Salvation Army, so we usually get 400 or 500 pounds of goods to donate and money. And then our 4th of July concert is where we get really the most people, because it's right along the riverfront. And we've not, I have to knock on wood, we haven't missed one 4th of July for rain. We've come close because of flooding a couple times, but we've moved up the, up the side to the First National Bank parking lot and things. But we have never, been canceled, and so that's really a fun one. And in my earlier years with the symphony, I was in the Marine Corps, and so we would do the pop stuff in the first step, and then I'd change into my dress blue uniform, and which brought out the patriotic stuff, and people really like that. But I can't really fit that anymore. But I think we have a visitor behind us. Hi, Denise.
I just had to stop in here. Did you guys know it's National Frappuccino Day?
We just talked about you.
Well,
Wonderful.
I brought over some caramel ribbon crunch for all of you to celebrate the holiday.
These are delicious.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you. Look at these little cups.
I love it.
And the straws. Those are cute.
Oh, yep. I lost count. There we go.
Does everybody?
There we go.
We do have one big one.
We can give that to Chris. That's for the big guy.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I can't thank you guys enough for stopping in here.
Thank you,
and
Denise.
if you guys are still thirsty, we have a lot more Frappuccinos over there.
Perfect.
Thank you very much.
you.
That's awesome.
I think we all knew the regular one was for the boss.
That's right. Yeah, and there he takes it. That's great. Big
Look
smile.
at that smile
Big
on
smile.
his face, too.
That is wonderful. So the symphony, I'm really proud of the symphony, where it's come from, and we still have lots to do still coming forward. And this season is going to be fantastic. Talk more about that as we go along. But I thought, what a great way to kick off a season. The music that we have coming this weekend, Beethoven's 7th Symphony. Everyone knows Beethoven's 5th Symphony. Kids of all ages know just those 4 notes. As a string bassist, that was one of my favorite ones to play. Not just because of playing, but audition excerpts that we practice hours and hours and hours come from that symphony. But the Beethoven's 7th Symphony, I've performed it as a bassist, but now I'm conducting this, my 5th time conducting it. It has overtaken all the other Beethoven symphonies as one of my favorites for so many different reasons. And so it's really fantastic. But then I was thinking, Vaughan Williams' Fantasia on the theme of Thomas Tallis. It's a piece written for strings, and he actually breaks it down into 3 different string orchestras. We have the solo quartet, then we have another ensemble on stage, Orchestra 1, and then I'm moving the 2nd larger orchestra somewhere else in our venue at Wesley United Methodist Church, because it's supposed to be distant and echoey and surreal. And I wish you could see the goosebumps, because I'm thinking about it. But the sound that the strings can make. And so when I thought about that piece, I'm like, I know because who we should bring in. Sabrina has worked with me in the violin section for a number of concerts with the symphony, and I knew she had this ensemble. And so I just quickly checked them out. I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to bring them. That would be perfect.
Date available, check.
That's
done.
right, that's right. And then the Elgar piece, Introduction to Allegro, which is the other piece that they're going to be featured on. That is really an incredible work, very powerful, 2 different types of works as well. And so in that space, I was just telling them before we went on air, we had rehearsal last night with the strings in Wesley United Methodist Church. The sound of the strings is just unbelievable. I really can't wait to put them with the strings and get the Beethoven. It's going to be fantastic.
And how many kind of volunteers are in the Muscatine Symphony Orchestra?
Well, that's an interesting question. When I first came on board, the orchestra was made up of 90% all locals, and they were volunteering because at the time there wasn't funding. They hadn't created what we have today.
Yeah.
But now that going into my 19th year, I hate to put it this way, but attrition from people moving away, retirements, deaths, just happens over almost 20 years. We are now probably a quarter are the local folks.
Okay.
And more come from the Quad Cities area, and they're still very regional. I think Iowa City and Quad Cities is where we get a lot of the fill-in. But I really stress, because I'm a teacher at heart as well, the word maestro is basically teacher, coming from Italian, and I've always made it a goal for my orchestras, whether it's here in Clinton, Iowa, or even out in Hawaii, to bring in college students. As a string bassist going through college, I gigged everywhere. And when I came out of school, the university orchestras were not on the top of my resume. I had 4, 5, 6 orchestras that I had experience with, and that got me into auditions. That got me into substitute things quicker. And so I look at it pedagogically, thinking that these students, they get great experience at college, but they need other experiences. And so I really, probably about a quarter to a third of our orchestra from time to time is college students.
Okay.
Because I really think that is important for them to come out of that education with other things and experiences.
All right. I do have to do a quick shout out to Stephanie Romanelli. She is one of my athletes.
Yes.
And so I told her, my husband told her good luck this morning, so I told her if she's watching, which I hope she is, I think she is, good luck, and I always love seeing the pictures and videos of her performing.
Yeah, she's playing the Beethoven on second flute, and she's been a stalwart in the orchestra, from the get-go as well. And I mean, again, I'm just really proud of this orchestra. I remember the day I came to audition, and I was conducting they didn't have much of a library, so I'm conducting from a violin part and doing things. And they asked me to bring a piece of music to work with the orchestra. So I brought Beethoven Symphony number 1. And they said, okay, and I said, okay, let's try my piece now. So I handed out all the music, and I love her to death. She's passed since, but Bonnie Neitzel. She, an elderly woman at the time in the second violin section, she goes, oh, but we don't sight read. It was adorable. Exactly, just, oh my gracious. And I said, well, you are today. Yeah. But again, they did their best. But then what I really love is my ability, whether it's that situation or I go to schools where I do clinics, and I'm only there for 2-3 hours. And where they start to where they get to is eye-opening for them at all levels. So I think that's one of the catalysts that got me the position. But that's one of the things that brings me back to schools when I go and work with groups, because they're always surprised, the students and the teachers, but the students are always surprised, oh, we can do this. Oh, this is actually fun. This is great. Yeah. And for me, that passion, I'm really working on my speech right now, although I'm still speaking fast. I have patrons in our orchestra here in town that always say, Brian, slow down. But I'm so excited about music. Yeah. I'm so excited about the education.
It's that adrenaline thrill. Like when you have a passion about something, you just want to go, go, go,
right.
And then you realize, oh wait, maybe they don't know exactly what I'm talking about. Let me pedal back a little bit.
And it's hard too, because especially when I know, like in the show, we only have so much time, and I'm like, I want to talk about this. I want to talk about, and I got to get to this wonderful group. It's like they're like, can we talk sometimes? You're right.
It's that look that when my husband will do that, I'll just do this.
That's right.
And that's the cue, like, that's okay.
I know. She hasn't kicked me yet, so that's still good.
There's no like arm nudging yet, nothing.
Right. But yeah, there we go.
Well, okay, so we're gonna pause on you.
Yes, absolutely.
Now we're gonna pause. So we're gonna go, I would like you to kind of go just down the line, and I wanna know a little bit about your background and how this became like your passion and how the ensemble's created.
Sure. Well, I mean, we can start over this direction and talk about where we met.
Sure. So we all met during our grad school in Chicago. Both some of us were at Northwestern University, some of us were at DePaul University.
But
really?
DePaul grad.
Yes.
Oh my gosh! Yay!
Animation. I loved it. It was so much fun.
Yeah.
It's so
Chicago
rare.
is so fun. So but the thing that really connected us was this apprentice orchestra called the Civic Orchestra of Chicago, and we all were in this orchestra playing music with the conductors that would conduct the Chicago Symphony. And the coolest part was there was an artist in residence, and it was Yo-Yo Ma while we were there. And so we got to really work with him and talk to him and just kind of hear his philosophies on being a musician of the 21st century. And we just loved, we really were inspired by him, and kind of Atlys grew from those experiences together.
Totally.
So I'll bring it to Rita now.
Yeah, I mean, when we came together at the Civic Orchestra, we were doing a lot of outreach and performances in unconventional places, and Yo-Yo Ma talked a lot about, gosh, you don't have to take the conventional route as a classical musician, especially these days. Like, how do we make it relevant to our current modern times? And so we were like, you know what? What if we put together this group and we try playing all different kinds of music? And so that really is at the core of what brought us together. It's like, we are a string quartet, and we are very founded in our traditional roots, and have classical technique that we've worked on for so many years. And that's created the bed for us to do all different kinds of music. So yeah, we're so happy to be here.
Yeah, we all, started with the Civic Orchestra, and then we kind of took this idea on the road, or actually on a boat.
Yep.
We started our career on Lincoln Center stage, representing Lincoln Center on Holland America Line, and spent about 13 months at sea, playing over 1,000 shows together, and really just unifying our sound and also unifying our dreams of what we wanted to do, and started writing our own arrangements and music, and building relationships with all kinds of composers, and so from there, once we got onto land, we started touring and playing our own music, and it's been just such a wonderful journey, and so special that we also at the same time get to come back to our classical roots and play concerts like this with the Muscatine Symphony. So, and I think Sabrina has a little fun fact about the group too. 2 of our members.
Genevieve over here is my twin sister.
Okay.
And so it's having twin sisters in the group is a vibe. And
that's a good way of putting
it. We have like a unique way of communicating with each other, very blunt, and and it's like definitely evolved over these 6 years we've been together, but it kind of like makes us all just feel really close to each other, and like we're all sisters. And so our when we're together, because I live in the Quad Cities. And for the last 3 years, and these girls don't live in Iowa. Rita lives in Los Angeles, and Genevieve and Ginty live in Chicago, and so we are a long distance string quartet. We have been always, and so we have weekly meetings, and we do extreme planning so that when we're together, it's go 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 go. Mm-hmm. But because we're like sisters, I mean, we spend 24 hours a day together for 4 days straight, sometimes longer.
13.
13 months. I was gonna say, on a ship in the ocean to you.
You better figure out how to resolve
during that time.
Better like each other now.
Yes, we've made it through that. And so just we have a very close relationship with each other, and being in a string quartet is a lot like being married. You love each other. You don't always like each other, but you love each other, and you know that there's something really important that you all have to share together, and we have this chemistry that none of us can deny. It's like we gotta do this.
There's a good balance between everything.
Yes.
You have to have a little bit of everything in regards to relationships or groups or quartets.
Yes.
Like, there has to be goods and bads and the in-between.
Exactly.
Now, can I ask where the name came from? Yes.
Yeah. A lot of people think it could be like a mnemonic device, but it's the word Atlas is a hope to evoke the idea of the world, and the idea that there's like documentation of the world, and we're doing that through our music. Mm-hmm. And kind of the world of music is not like country based always, but there is like, you know, there are cultural styles that we love to play, but there's also different genres of music, and there's like a world of the genres, and there's cross sections of them and the border between this and that, and that's exactly what we do.
So you got to work through decades of music as well.
Yes.
And the style changes.
All the things.
I had a high schooler earlier this week who had more of like an 80s, like Def Leppard's typeface, and he called it retro. So, you know,
retro.
we had to make some changes.
Yeah.
So the updates and the changes all the time. So yeah, I relate to the, it was.
Don't get me started on that.
We won't.
I'm now the retro generation.
We don't have another hour to talk about that portion of it.
Well, maybe we can just do it on the bloopers or the extra podcast thing.
Yes.
You know, you say have that extra content.
We'll just start doing those now.
Right.
Starting with the first episode.
There we go.
Decade music.
Oh, gosh.
When it comes to rehearsals, so how does that come together now? Because you said
being long distance.
Quad Cities, LA, and Chicago. What do you guys?
Yeah, it takes a lot of group planning, awareness, individual preparation, and then long days together. Yesterday we rehearsed for 8 or 9 hours. That was our first day together for this trip.
Okay.
And every time we get together, which is about once a month or once every 6 weeks, we have to have the long-term plan. Like, you know, when we got together in September, and we knew we had to work through this program while we were together in September, and then do the rest of the work individually. We're gonna have our rehearsal with the orchestra today, and since we are very well versed in playing with each other, practicing individually, we can kind of have a sense of like what it's going to sound like when we're all together. But we also do another very tech savvy, innovative way of rehearsing together, which is using recording. We can record individually our own part and play along with each other.
Okay.
So, I mean, at the end, there's a whole recording of it all that, you know, sometimes we could do something with that, but we use it as a practice tool.
Okay.
And classical music with string instruments is so nuanced. There's like 100,000 ways to play one note. And so you see it on the music page, you see it on the sheet music, and it's like, but what, you know? So hearing it in an actual recording is as close as it can get to being in the same room. And in some cases, we've even recorded video just to watch, because there's so much that can go into
it's still a performance.
Yes.
So you don't want to just be strict, tight.
Yes.
You want to have relaxed.
I mean, there's right. That's like the opposite of what we would want, is for it to sound sterile and like computerized. Like, it's so human and I'm gonna get crazy talking about this. So never mind.
You know what's interesting about with small ensembles, quartets, the genesis of string sections in orchestras. I, as a bass player, I can admit it comes from the quartet. Quartets got really good when they made them quintets, adding the bass, but that's a whole different discussion.
I think he wants to be a part of your group.
Well, we would add another Chicago Civic alum. I mean, that would be,
hey,
that whole thing would be full house, I know, right?
Yeah.
And so, but what is interesting is watching a string quartet, really good ones, play together. It's visually really engaging because of how they look, how they breathe, how they move, if there's a melodic line, one musician will have it, and then they'll look right at each other, and then, here you go, pass it right off. And that's one of the things that I try to work with even the full orchestra, especially the principal players, to play like that. There's a movement in this Beethoven symphony that I will admit, once I start it, Beethoven doesn't do anything with the tempo. There's nothing. It just goes. And so, like, even last night with the string rehearsal, I went out and sat in the hall, and I'd say something really like, no, or whatever it was, but it makes them play together. And then what ended up happening, then I started seeing more motion and moving, people looking and playing. As a bigger group, what was it, 30 people last night, like 4 would play. And it's really interesting. That's why I try to get people to come to concerts, because the hearing it and even watching videos. Oh, cool, that's great. But until you see it and experience the sound and the motion and the emotion, there's nothing like it.
Does it also help the audience kind of see where to look then? If
100%.
say you've got a crowd of 30 people performing and they're all just staring at their paper, your audience are just kind of look around.
Boring.
Right.
So looking at each other, almost having a physical motion, does that just help direct then the audience where to look next?
Definitely.
It does, and it helps draw ears. And there's something about, again, it's not only audible, it's visual. And so I always tell my orchestras, I said, if it's hard, it's okay to make it look like it's hard. If it's fun, smile while you're playing. If it if it's enjoyable, if it's relaxed, it's not just this. Don't make it look like it's hard work, but they don't want to see you working, like mentally draining.
Yeah.
They want to be part of it and see that you're enjoying it. So what I'm very proud of with my orchestra is when I go out in the lobby and I shake hundreds of hands after every concert, I get a lot of feedback. Oh, the orchestra right there having so much fun. They were so engaged. Or, what is it that you did? You turned over in this one spot. People are observant. And again, they only see my back of my head most of the concert. But I still remember this one gentleman asked me after a concert last year, he said, I saw you look over to the violins on the other side, which was the second violins, and there was a smile and you winked, and then they smiled back. What was that about? I told him what it was about, but I said, there's that relationship, and it changes how the audience experiences it.
Oh yeah, because they're looking at you. If you just have a boring, plain old face, which I don't think, knowing you now, I don't think that's your personality. No. You have to bring the energy towards them just as much as they bring the energy towards you.
Right. And I think, people ask what makes a good conductor, and I think it's two things. One, that the conductor is the maestro, no matter what the level he or she teaches the orchestra the interpretation of the music, whether it's a movement, a whole piece, or whatever. And I joke about this, but if a light falls on my head, knocks me on the ground, they don't stop. They finish, they finish that movement, that work, in the way that we did it together, right? So I've taught them. And so that then when it comes to the concert, I become part of the music, and my job then is to inspire. It's not just informational, which a lot of conducting becomes for some people. They just, okay, this is how fast, this is how loud, watch me, haha, I'm gonna dance a little bit, right? That does no good if it doesn't inspire them to play. And so that is when, how do I know if I'm successful? Because if I'm doing this and the piece is moving along, I'm doing longer lines instead of just each measure, then that tells me that, oh, they're with me, they're inspired, they've listened to what I've tried to teach them. And I just got right down the right side, I'm on this side. The goosebumps thinking about it, because there are moments even in this performance from the 2 rehearsals that are going to be like that. And that's what's really exciting.
So you're going to need to keep track of how many goosebumps you get tomorrow night.
I know, I can't. I mean, what's funny is being bald. I'm like, can the audience see him when it comes up the back? Like, it happens. And I do. And then in Hawaii, I just had a conversation with a gentleman in this podcast, and they call it chicken feet out in Hawaii with my workshop there. The goosebumps, as they call it.
I did not know that.
Yep. But I get them, and when I do, that's why I like to conduct many times rehearsals in short sleeve shirts, so that, because people, he's just saying that. No, and then I say, look, see, look, and they're like, oh my gosh, he really is. Because
it's real.
It is real, and I think people find that surprising because of my background. I wasn't always in music. I took some hiatus, and one of the hiatus was I was in the Marine Corps. I was part of the invasion of Iraq, and there's this whole other side, explosives, weaponry, all that. And they're like, oh, that Marine, he's not going to be, no. Again, I'm getting worked up again. I'm so excited about music. And again, there goes the goosebumps. Like,
oh, it was on the left side.
It was on the left side this time.
Okay, we're switching it up.
Yeah.
I'm so sensitive to it. But I want people to know, you don't have to love classical music. You don't have to know it. It will touch you in ways that you are going to be surprised at.
And so, talking about surprises,
yes,
you are also celebrating the 20th anniversary for Muscatine Symphony Orchestra.
Right.
And we are kicking it off with tomorrow's performance.
So it's an elongated celebration, mainly because our anniversary was actually COVID. And gosh darn it, that little bug kind of put the damper and all that. So we're actually kind of extending it, technically speaking, but.
So we'll say 20, but it's technically 20.
21 and a half, 22, who's counting? It's like, counting a baby.
We like
18,
0
19 weeks.
anniversaries.
Right. Well, the big one for me, though, is coming up now, is 20 next year.
Okay.
And so for me, which is huge. Last year, we actually had a brewery here in town, Contrary Brewery, came up with the Maestro's Ale for me. Yeah, I know, and it was good, and it actually was one of their top sellers at Contrary.
That's awesome.
It was here at Hy-Vee. I don't think they have anymore. But,
It was at Hy-Vee.
it was at Hy-Vee, and so I was really excited. I still got some at home because I bought like 3 cases of it.
Yeah, of course.
But now I'm looking for what should be the 20th anniversary. Should we go wine? Should we get a distillery to start working on a scotch or something? I'm like, But that's going to be really exciting.
Scotch is always nice.
Scotch is always nice, yes.
Easy sipper.
Yes.
So let's talk about the details for tomorrow.
Yes.
And I'll let
There's
you.
a concert tomorrow, isn't there? Yes.
So let's start
Yes.
the basics. Time,
Time, 7 o'clock p.m.
location.
See, I have to let you lead me. Yes. It's at Wesley United Methodist Church, 401 Iowa, I believe. But everyone here in Muscatine knows it pretty well because a lot of events are held there. The acoustics are phenomenal, and so it's utilized for a lot of other performances. Tickets, $15 for adults. You can actually get season tickets for the year, which are really inexpensive for the season. And also kids 18 and under are free. Always free, always, always, always.
Beautiful.
And so I'm always pushing to get families to come. And really, I've not pushed the obvious thing about this group, but it is one of the underlying things, women. I'm so thrilled because I'm wanting young girls to come and be inspired by the 4 of them, to see what they can do. And I just got it down the right, chicken feet down the right arm, just how excited, I know. But, you know, and it just worked out that way. But then as I was going, I'm like, this is really awesome. And that's, again, another plus of kicking off the season with this, to really get the young girls inspired to see, you know, how incredible this could be.
And did you all study music then in college?
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes.
So you knew it was that, you know, kind of pick up the instrument the first time, you're like, this is it, this is what I want. Or do you feel like your career
Eventually.
paths changed?
I mean, it's not always, for those who are, anyone who's watching, either with like kids that are interested in an instrument, or if you're a kid, hi. And it's not like I picked it up for the first time and I just never wanted to stop practicing ever.
That's like what you see in the movies.
Right. It's really not that. There are days you do not want to practice. You don't want to practice. You still might love the instrument, but you don't want to practice. Or maybe you don't love the instrument that much, but it's sort of something to do, and like there's like a challenge. There's a huge challenge aspect to it. And it's especially, I mean, string instruments in particular have the steepest learning curve. It is a steep uphill for a long time, like 10, 12 years of just like, how do I do this? It's really hard. It sounds bad.
It was like with 6th grade, you know, they come and introduce you to like the instruments.
Yeah.
I remember I had a clarinet and I had violin, and oh my gosh, when junior high was over with, I was like, no, never again. Like,
It's so hard.
It is. It's
Yeah.
a lot of practice,
Yeah.
and if you don't practice it, you know,
It's all about consistency.
you know, I teach my nutrition athletes that all the time.
There you go.
Consistency is key.
That is.
So
Consistency
that's
is key.
it's a constant drill in my head.
Having instruction that understands, especially in today's thing, that kids have so many options.
Yeah.
It has to be fun, and you have to find a way to get it fun right away.
Yeah.
And the good teachers can do that. And the kids, even my daughter is now 10. She's going in her 7th year of playing violin.
Wow.
So she's been playing since 3.5. You ask her if she likes it. She's at the age now because she's young and plays at this level, and there aren't any other kids her age. She's like, But we've created a chamber music academy back at home for 5th through 12th graders, and we're actually starting on Tuesday. This is really exciting. Basically, my daughter's the catalyst, but now all the other kids are going to have to get the benefit of it. And so we're teaching them. We're going to have talks about this too as well, by the way, ladies.
Great.
But we're starting with chamber music, quartets, trios, and each kid's going to be in a different ensemble, and then we're going to be doing a larger group. So they then learn how not only to lead in a quartet, but then how to be part of a collective working towards a common goal. So being in rural communities, not everybody has a string program, not everybody has that, and so we're trying to fill a gap. But in music, 5th grade, I don't know about you folks. For me, I didn't want to be in band because everybody else was doing that. I didn't want to sing because I don't want to sing in front of people like 5th. No, wait, just in the shower, it's all good. And so the strings came on. I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool. I go to the junior high, violin, no offense. Violin, it's too small. Everybody else is doing violin. Viola, I'm like, oh, that's kind of got a coolish sound. It's deeper. I'm like, cello. Well, now we're kind of getting back in the corner of the cafeteria, laid the bass. And I'm like, yeah, I'll do that one. Yeah. Just because it won no one else, and it was the biggest. And I'm like, this will be cool. Didn't know, like we were saying, I'd be doing it. I'm not going to say how many decades later, making music for a career. But I did take to the bass kind of like a moth to a light, right? And it kind of was a catalyst, and I played sports. My height was good for basketball, but I made my first professional orchestra as a senior in high school, and that's where I had to make a decision, sports or music, and I'm like, well, I'll be doing music longer than I'll be playing basketball. And so that was kind of my trigger. I know you were going to say something, Chinty, right?
Oh, I think I was just going to say that for each of us, like, we came to the decision to pursue this professionally at different times in our lives. It definitely wasn't right away. So, yeah, I don't know.
I think learning music is very much like learning a language, you know? It's just the more that you are surrounded by it and the more that you practice it, the more it becomes a part of you.
Yeah. For me, music has always been like a social thing. You know, my twin over there, she started violin before I started cello, and I just go to, I was brought with my mom to her lessons when we were 6, but I was watching. I just would watch for like a year and a half, and eventually the teacher was like, you should play something. But like all throughout middle school, high school, it was always a social thing that got me going and like got me excited about music. I wanted to get better because when I saw my friends, I wanted to know the music well and like know how to play with them. So, and it's still that way. I mean, I'm in a string quartet. I'm always around friends, and music is about that, playing with people. Yeah. So,
well, speaking of music, we would love if you would play a little demonstration or whatever you would like, so people can get a little sneak peek for tomorrow.
Yeah, I was gonna quickly say that tomorrow we'll be performing these pieces by Elgar and Vaughan Williams, but there might be a little some Atlys in there too.
Maybe you might recommend.
That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, if you come
I
along.
would hope that you would, you brought them on, you want to hear something of theirs.
Yeah.
Well,
and Muscatine wants to hear it too.
I hinted a little something like, you guys have a little something else, something you want to play too. So that's really gonna be exciting. We're looking forward to, actually, once we finish here, we're heading up to the high school to work with the orchestra program, and I'm gonna have them play a little bit, then also work with the kids. They have a concert coming up next week, so come to our concert this weekend. They can support the local orchestra next week with their programs, and it's just really, Muscatine is really lucky, the size of the community, to have such a thriving musical arts education community. The orchestra program has grown immensely in the 19 years I've been here, from 1 teacher to now 3 and 4 teachers. The band program has grown. The choirs are doing really well. So there's this real support here. And then to have a symphony orchestra that does a full season. We didn't miss a beat in the pandemic. The support financially in the community is there. We just flipped everything to virtual. That's where I really learned how to video edit really well. But we didn't miss anything, whereas my other orchestras, like many around the world, canceled or just closed shop for months to years on end.
You said, no COVID, you're not stopping me.
Pretty much, and we found safe ways to do it. In fact, Sabrina was part of a couple of those recordings, and we found safe ways to do it, distance and minimal numbers and those kinds of things, but people need music, whether they know it or not. It feeds the soul. Live music does it even more, like I talked earlier, to experience it, but even putting out those virtual performances, I was receiving emails from people saying, thank you for sharing this. We just have needed something new, something fresh, something that makes us feel alive. And music does that no matter what language you speak. We can take their music anywhere around the planet and it will touch a village in the Congo. It will touch people in Australia. We can go to Wuhan, China, Well, that's been in the news a lot. And connect that way. Anywhere we can connect. You can even go to a zoo and connect with the animals with music. I mean, there is something about it that is
on your bucket list now?
It's actually, I took my daughter to the zoo yesterday, and I'm like, you know, we really I need to take the orchestra to the zoo and do Carnival of the Animals and do some other things like in front of the animals. And that was so fun. But, so I just support people all the time. You know, we've had audiences with the symphony up 800 to almost close to 1,000. And we've gone different directions because in a small town, so many events pulls that small audience pool. But to a T, everyone that comes to the concert, they go, we didn't know we had this here. This is amazing. We need to get more people to come. And so just to check it out, you know, and again, we have till tomorrow. If people wanted to see if I'm telling the truth, they can go on the web. Our website, muscatinesymphony.org, it's got videos. We've got the last 2 years right there for you. You can look at the concert programs, all the businesses in town that support us with advertising and sponsorships. You know, it's there, and I'm getting riled up again. I'm so excited. I just want people.
You have goosebumps yet?
I'm getting there. I want people to experience this, and you know, if you come and then you really say it's not for you, okay, because maybe it's not. Heavy metal wasn't for me at a certain time. Rap music is. I used to, as a young kid, listen to rap. Now I look at it, I'm like, right? But it's for everybody. But if you don't try it, it's like I tell my children when they say, oh, I don't want to taste that. I don't want to eat that. Have you tried it? No? Well, then you don't know.
You know, fun fact, you need to try a food at least 12 to 15 times before you either decide to like it or dislike it.
Well, I'll tell you what, if that's
like
12 to 15 times, I'll take 6 times. Come to 6 orchestra concerts to decide.
Cut it in half.
That's right. I'll be gracious. I'd rather the 15, but it's like market branding. You know, people have to see things 10 times to start really branding it. And so because I can tell you, and I'm not bloviating, I'm not exaggerating, I would say 85 to 90% of the people that do that end up coming back. Because they're like, I didn't know. I thought it was just stuffy people and these old people. No, I mean, you see how I am. Our concerts are that way.
Yes.
I'm very energetic, and when I talk to the audience, and we talked about how the musicians play, it's very approachable, very relaxed. Gone are the days, good or bad, of people showing up in the tuxedos in the audience. You know, it's like church. I remember growing up going to church. I had my jacket, I had my tie. Everybody's dressed up. Now churches just come.
Yeah.
The same thing for me. I don't care what you're dressed like. Well, I better be careful with that.
There is a code.
Right,
There's a little bit of a clothes. Yeah. Clothes.
Use common sense. But you know, what do you wear when you go to Hy-Vee to go grocery shopping?
Yeah.
That's safer. That's right.
Go to Hy-Vee and come to the
That's
concert.
right.
Yeah.
But just come, experience it. That's so much more important.
And we're about to get a little experience.
You guys are
going
to be wild.
Teaser.
Yes. It's going to be awesome.
Perfect.
So Saturday, 7 o'clock, Wesley. It's going to be awesome.
And $15.
$15 for adults and free for kids.
Amazing.
What about college kids?
College kids, come find me. I think I could work it out. Yep.
Just have your college ID ready.
That's right. Have your college ID ready. That's right.
Just because you're 18, you need the college ID.
That's right.
Perfect. Well, we are going to cut to commercial real quick, and we are going to do a little stage flip and have a beautiful performance. We'll be right back.
Here at Toyota Muscatine, we're here to serve.
When you buy a vehicle at a multi-brand dealership and it isn't locally owned, it can be difficult to get information that you need.
That's why all of our trained salespeople are focused on one thing, getting you the best deal possible on a new or used Toyota.
And when you pick your favorite, we will help you with financing and maintenance.
We love helping our neighbors.
Come to Toyota Muscatine today.
Hi, I'm TJ Deere, General Manager here at Toyota Muscatine.
Hi, I'm Megan and I'm from Muscatine.
My name is Logan and I'm from Muscatine.
Here at Toyota Muscatine, we believe in investing in our community.
And that's why all our members are local to the Muscatine area.
It's why we give generously to charities based in our city.
Because we believe that giving back means paying it forward.
That's why an investment in us is an investment in our community.
We just don't work out in a single plane of motion.
When you buy a vehicle for Toyota Muscatine, keeping your vehicle safely on the road is our highest priority.
We offer scheduled maintenance and extended service hours for those unexpected repairs.
Our service department's mechanics are dedicated to providing you with the highest quality of care.
Feel free to ask any of our friendly staff if you have any questions.
Come on down to Toyota Muscatine today.
Here at Toyota Muscatine, we're here to serve.
When you buy a vehicle at a multi-brand dealership and it isn't locally owned, it can be difficult to get information that you need.
That's why all of our trained salespeople are focused on one thing, getting you the best deal possible on a new or used Toyota.
And when you pick your favorite, we will help you with financing and maintenance.
We love helping our neighbors.
Come to Toyota Muscatine today.
Hi, I'm TJ Deere, General Manager here at Toyota Muscatine.
Hi, I'm Megan and I'm from Muscatine.
My name is Logan and I'm from Muscatine.
Here at Toyota Muscatine, we believe in investing in our community.
And that's why all our members are local to the Muscatine area.
It's why we give generously to charities based in our city.
Because we believe that giving back means paying it forward.
That's why an investment in us is an investment in our community.
All right, so we are now going to give you a nice little sneak peek of what you can expect for tomorrow, and this is the Atlys String Quartet.
come to the concert.
All right. So, wonderful, beautiful ladies. Congratulations on that. So look forward to tomorrow and seeing everyone perform, and good luck with rehearsals tonight, meeting everyone. So have fun. After this, what is the next stop for you all?
The next exciting thing, well, we have some new releases coming out on Spotify. So for anyone who wants to follow along, we have a lot of stuff already out. That song is on Spotify right now. It has nearly 5 million streams on Spotify, and so every little stream counts. And we have some Christmas releases coming this year. And then actually there's a performance in the Quad Cities in February.
Okay.
That's just going to be the Atlys repertoire of stuff just like that, arrangement of Ed Sheeran and all kinds of cool stuff. So, I mean, yeah, just follow us on social media and you'll get everything you need to know.
Perfect. So follow Atlys String Quartet.
Yes.
Atlys Music.
And it's ATLYS. It was on the screen at a time, but yeah.
We'll have it all available, so be sure to follow on Facebook, social media, Instagram, and of course Spotify. Follow on
Amazon,
Spotify.
Apple Music, all of it.
All of it. Perfect. Well, thank you so much for performing, and thank you for coming on this morning, and good luck tomorrow as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Happy fall.
Oh, yes, it is fall season. All right, so be ready for the Muskies. It is the last home game tonight, so be sure to wear your purple and gold and bundle up. It is going to be a cold one, and there are so many different events to choose from for tomorrow. So you have the Carnival Kickoff, you have Muskies Invitational, you have the Muscatine Symphony Orchestra, and you also have the New Era Diner for the church ladies. So pick one, enjoy it, go out and enjoy the Muscatine community. Until then, stay happy and stay healthy. I will see you later, Muscatine.
Hi, I'm TJ Deere, General Manager here at Toyota of Muscatine.
Hi, I'm Megan and I'm from Muscatine.
My name is Logan and I'm from Muscatine.
Here at Toyota Muscatine, we believe in investing in our community.
And that's why all our members are local to the Muscatine area.
It's why we give generously to charities based in our city.
Because we believe that giving back means paying it forward.
That's why an investment in us is an investment in our community.